So, what's going on in the metal lattice? What is actually happening in this nickel powder? Nobody knows for sure. There's three theories that I know of right now that, that are prominent. And the point is that over the period of time this has been studied, there have been a couple hundred different theories that have been announced. But the key is to being able to get this nickel powder, what they call a nuclear active environment. And this is a piece of like palladium that has been in an electrolytic cell where there's been fusion happening. Look at that cell. That's the surface of it. It's a blown up vision or a picture of it, and it looks like there's little pock marks on it. And if you blow up and look at an even higher resolution, it looks like there's little craters in there. And if you look even higher scale with a scanning electron microscope, there's holes in that thing. It's like something was trying to get out of there. Like it was a micro explosion. And here's a piece of gold foil that was used that went through a fusion process. And look at that one. Something big happened down there inside the metal. And if you look at the elements, and here's a unique, they looked at with an X-ray type of machine that was able to determine the elements around that, and they found all types of different elements right around the rim of that little crater there, saying fusion is happening and there's some other transmutation, some other elements happening. And here is a infrared picture of a surface that is having a fusion reaction on it, and you can see these little blips, these little tiny white blips. This is really blown up, so it's very hard to see infrared. And over a period of a minute and a half, those little white things would just all of a sudden just grow, and the whole area would be filled up with these white mini micro explosions of heat coming out of that surface. So that's what's happening in there. So there's been a lot of affirmation of what's going on with this. Here's a group of scientists. A lot of these are researchers around that have been working in this area a long time, that have put their name, signed on, said this stuff is for real. There's been 1,700 peer-reviewed articles about it, and reported hundreds of different entities have reported doing this. And Peter Hegelstein have developed a LENR product and demonstrated it right on campus. They had students come in, see what they're doing. Professor Solani has, from Italy, has demonstrated at the National Instruments Week in 2012. Had it right in one of the big display areas. For 75 hours he was producing fusion right on the display floor. The conference I went to last year in Missouri, there was a demonstration via the internet from over in Italy of Defcalian's their product showing fusion. DARPA had a 60-minute segment on cold fusion hot again, and they said there is no doubt that anomalous heat, excess heat is being produced. Dr. Robert Duncan, down at the University of Missouri, he's the one that organized the conference last year. He's put his reputation on the line here, and he says it's for real. In 2013, the U.S. Navy filed a patent report for LENR. And U.S. Navy's, one of their research areas down in San Diego has published some 30 peer-reviewed papers on Lenr over the last 20 years. It's real. It's real. NASA has been doing research on Lenr. Nobody knows this. They've been doing research on it. Boeing has been involved in that research, trying to figure out how can we use Lenr in an airplane or a spaceship. So, a lot of things going on. Okay, this is from the National Instruments called NI Week. They're a big company, been around a long time. This is the CEO of the company. They've got a lot of engineers hired. What they do is they build lab measurement equipment. And here's his presentation at the opening conference of it last year.
Now we would also add beyond computer simulation as well to this statement. So if you look at one area that National Instruments has been involved since 1989, is cold fusion. This is a very controversial subject, and in 1989 we were looking for working with some of these early Edisons, and we actually all a lot has happened since then. A guy Grimshaw did his master's thesis at the LBTA School of Public Policy, viewed as fairly neutral, saying he had found 184 examples of positive experiments in this area. And he recommended that public policy support research in this area. We also been working with Labby over the years in many of these Edisons in their basements, in their closets, in their outback laboratories in the back of their yard to continue this research. We actually have a demonstration of Dr. Shalami's work from the Italian Nuclear Institute on the showroom floor. And I'm actually recommending a different name. I think that name got a little tarnished. Maybe we should call it quantum reactor.
There's a new one.
The name often used in science fiction movies. So on the showroom floor, we have a demo, and we also have a panel of some of the select researchers that have been working in this area for the last 20 years, including Professor Hagelstein from MIT, who has worked on some 282 theories about how it works. This latest one, he thinks this is the best one, so check that out. So, in the experimental...
So anyway, here we have a CEO of a major corporation in the United States saying, this is real. And our people have been working with it for many years, and they are solid behind it. So the engineers or the scientists that have been involved with this have felt bad for Martin Fleischmann. He just died last year, and they felt this guy did not deserve what he got out of the scientific community. He was cheated out of a very important discovery in the world. So there's a group of people that's called the Martin Fleischmann Memorial Project, and you can make donations to it. And what they're trying to do is they're trying to put this research out into the world so that everybody can see it.